So I'm gonna do a little breakdown on an electro track that I made during the summer. So this one was really inspired by a Radioactive Man live set. So it has a lot of sampling, synthesis, but it's still fairly simple track. It's getting pressed to vinyl in 2026 at some point. So I thought it'd be a good one to break down. So I'm gonna give you a little listen to the track just before the bass comes in, like a minute or two into the track. I'll show you all the important elements and then we'll go through each element bit by bit. So I'm going to play from here now. I'm just going to skip in here for the drop. There's a different vocal. Right, let's break it down bit by bit now. So I'm going to just start with the drums. I'll just loop this section here. Fairly simple. I just have this kick drum. It's an 808 kick. You can never go wrong with an 808 kick, and it's from samples from Mars. They're really good drum kits. Same with this. Is it the same kit? Yeah, heavy saturated kit from Sample from Mars. So this is the 808 pattern I made. You know yourself, you can't go wrong using an 808 when you're making electro. So we just have some closed hats, snare, and kick drum. Is that muted, that kick drum? It must be. I'm actually going to remove them. Just take it out. I must have left that in by mistake. Then we have this loop here. So this is just filling out the groove a little bit. That's all it is. You can see how I EQ'd it here, remove some of the width, probably bring that up a little bit. And that's it all together now. Nice drums. And then we bring in an extra hat here, so you can see here. Like that one, it's the open hat. Very simple drums, one drum rack and then a loop just to fill it out a little bit. Then we just have some effects. We'll get to them later on. So next we have the bass. I always struggle to make these kind of, they're not evil bass lines, but they give you that bass face, they're real hard hitting. And it's something that I always struggle with, but I feel like I nailed it here. So here's the pattern that I got. And yeah, it's just working well with the kick. Everything has its space. And that's from the Pro Mars. This is the ultimate bass plug-in for me. You can see how warm it is, and I'm still cutting out so many of the frequencies here. Won't let me open here, I don't know why. There's not much going on in that. And then there's some EQ, it's in mono. Sidechain from the Nicky Romero Kickstart. Right, so here's where it gets interesting now. So there's a Dr. Dre track on the Chronic, and it's called Murder Inc. And I love the vocal in it from Miss Rock, so I decided to sample that one. Detrimental to your health. Should have learned your lesson. But it's too late, nigga. Bye-bye. Better count your blessings. So you can hear there's a little sound in here, which I tried to remove. But it's too late, nigga. Bye-bye. Better count your blessings. But actually worked well with the rest of the track. It just sounds like a little effect that I added in, but basically it's just part of the vocal. The acapella obviously couldn't remove that part, but it sounds nice. Detrimental to your health. Should have learned your lesson. But it's too late, nigga. Bye-bye. Better count your blessings. Detrimental. And then this synth comes in then. But it's too late, nigga. Bye-bye. Gives a nice melodic vibe. Here we go. Detrimental to your health. From the Juno from Roland. But it's too late, nigga. Bye-bye. Better count your blessings. Detrimental to your health. Should have learned your lesson. But it's too late, nigga. Bye-bye. Better count your blessings. So we have this Siren sample. This is off Splice, I think. It's just basically a fucking ambient sound, which I really loved. The Siren, it's hard to fit it into a track, so you can see I had to roll it off here. So with a bit of delay and then an extra little riser on top. And the reverse crash. A little snare build. And then the new synth comes in. And that's a Juno as well. Very simple, just a little bit of EQ. There's a chord, obviously it's 7 semitones up. Same with this. And then that little lead sound is from Predator. It's a sound I use in quite a few of my tracks. That's just a little arpeggiator, you can see it there. It's going up 1 octave, 12 semitones. Here's the pattern, keeping it simple. Just the synth on its own like that for 16 bars is a little bit repetitive, so I added some effects in and then that synth. So I have the gunshot here, so he loads it and then pops it off. So that gunshot sample is just, I think that's just from Splice as well. And then the effects I'm using here, they're just from Rob Pappin. Not all of them are, some of them are audio effects. So these two. So I have a lot of sounds like that in our Create Audio samples if anyone wants to get them. And we have a free package there with like 30 effects as well. So just put them all together. And then that little vocal kind of vox sound is just that sample from Dr. Dre again. Miss Rock just sliced up and just hit 2 random notes with some echo. That's it. Reverse crash, some reverb and delay. So yeah, we've gone through all the main elements. So after the second synth is broken down here, this is the main breakdown. I'll be bringing new sample in. It's from the same track, but it's just a different part. Here we go.
watching you, watching me, yeah, you ballin'. Was, nigga, now you think I'm fucking steady
Just back into the bass on its own because we don't hear the bass and the drums alone from the start of the track, so all these little bits keep it moving. You can see what I'm cutting out here. That's it. A little bit of echo, EQ, fab filter. Same process again. Just a new synth. So basically there's not too much going on in the drums, most of it's in the synths and the effects just carrying the groove. Yeah, so basically just repeat that whole process. So once we got this section done, I just repeated it again and removed the bass. But yeah, that's about it. We just have a little bit of processing on our drum group here. So we have the saturator from audio, our sound toys. You just bring it up the brightness a little bit and then slowly bring up the dry wet, so it's only a little touch of saturation. Definitely makes a difference. And a little bit of compression here. Pumping drums preset from the hybrid compressor. But everything sounds nice and tight, it has its space. Yeah, there's not that much going on really. There's not that many channels in the track at all, so I was happy with how this one turned out, and I think it's gonna do well when it comes out on vinyl sometime in 2026. So yeah, if you have any questions or anything at all, just drop a comment below and I will answer you as quick as I can. If there's any videos you want to see in the future, please let me know. And yeah, we'll leave it there, gang. If you haven't got the samples yet already, the link is in the description, and there's also a free back